Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Europa Universalis IV with me, Alfapiomega, Meiou and Taxes, Bohemia and Historical Immersion. So, last time I took a knife and stabbed it right into my fucking eye, losing 3 stability points on revoking one simple privilege from the greater nobles. How great is that? Yes, the game has punished me for my own forcible removal of a privilege when I had a benevolent ruler. Now, of course, this does not come into account in the game itself, but I see it as a good paraphrase to the game giving me the finger. However, today we are starting with the festivities. This year looks to be such a prosperous year that Peter I, as a gesture of goodwill, has decided to celebrate by arranging various festivities for the locals. So we're gonna arrange the festivities, which gives us 50 stability points. And that means in probably 3 years we will be able to increase the stability to -1. However, the reason why I'm starting this episode now is that we have relations of 133 with Passau. They would accept a vassalization, and 132 is not enough. As it's a theocracy, we can't really do much with it, but I can bestow imperial grace on them, which gives us 173 relations, and I can send them a gift that would cost me 75 gold, but it would allow me to increase the relations by another 23 points, and that is enough for us to vassalize them. Next in line is Regensburg. You guys know about that. Hey, okay. Wait, no, that's Bayern München. Here is Regensburg, which is gonna be a bit hard, but they're slowly losing the revoked free city status penalty, after which we are going to vassalize them. We need to increase our political power when everything else is really not going our way. So, where is that send gift? 1, 2, 3. Confirm. 196. And they will now accept our vassalization request. Isn't that great? When politics work out, a benevolent, tempered ruler, the Emperor of Holy Roman Empire, is exactly the guy that you would swear fealty to. So let's do that right now. Come on, Passau, we're waiting for you. Come on. 1st of July, okay. I'm not going to grant you the request. Offer vassalization, confirm, and they are now our loyal vassal. So we got another one. This is a good start of the episode after the blunders of the previous one, where we have liberated Utrecht only to lose a number of provinces to France. That was a blunder, but what can you do? Anyway, our ruler is still drilling the army, trying to improve himself. Our son, Peter, is getting slightly better in aging up. And we are slowly gathering more technology points left and right. The problem here, of course, is our weak diplomatic power. We need to lower the amount of relations we have. There's not that many things that we could do here. Really here, as everyone is our vassal, and we're gonna only increase that by swaying Regensburg. Imperial relations, if we improve the relations, that's extra 15, that's 151, and I can then send them a gift. Can I do something else? Wait, that's 151, 180. Yeah, with the revoked hour. Okay, and then just a simple gift will do it. Okay, that's good. Again, getting more vassals is beneficial for us because eventually we'll be able to integrate them. Right now, it's more like we are the emperor and we are getting people around us to, realize how great we are, but Later on, it's going to actually mean that we can grow to this size. You are also our vassal, aren't you, Schönberg? Yes. So we're gonna get also Regensburg, and there will be other places that we will be able to deal with. Anything, we could purchase the Swedish copper, which would be great, but unfortunately... Oh, a large city! Okay, so we're actually getting a splendor, fulfilled objectives. Oh, that's good. Present on 3 continents, that's not gonna happen. Hold 3 thrones, that's not gonna happen. Control centers of trade. Praha is not a center of trade? It is, but it's a minor center of trade. Yeah, we should really see to it that we grow our trade at least a bit. 2.43. I'm gonna get slightly more when the reinforcing is done. Okay, this ought to do it. In hopes that the church would help us, I have asked for appropriating of the church property, which I can because of my poor stability. However, our religious leaders have sent representatives to argue why they deserve to not give up any of their property. The list of reasons is long and well argued, but it comes down to the idea that we do not have the right to seize their lands. Yet there is another axiom, might makes right. However, as we are a tempered, benevolent leader, we are going to accept this impasse and just, forget about it. I was just hoping that they would come and help, but they won't. Bastards. Bastards! We can now take another technology, which is the Office of Lord Admiral. As navies grew larger, it became important to have more control over them. The Office of Lord Admiral and Lord High Admiral was first created in 1400s, placing one man in charge of all the ships of the nation. Extra naval morale, extra naval maintenance. Does not really bother us. The trade, though, is kinda nice. An extra promoted culture would be pretty cool. We still don't want to rival Poland, who is our ally. We have really high relations with them. And just screwing it up like this does not seem like a good idea. Muscovy, I think, has grown a bit, but I'm not entirely sure. Ryazan still present, still White Horde present, Mongol, Greater Russia still present. Ottomans have not grown since they captured Constantinople. Not much happening in Castile and Aragon. However, they are fighting with Granada. That is interesting. Last wave for Granada was still there until the very late game. Actually, until the end. Portugal is also good. What's happening here? Oh wow! Granada actually conquered parts of Morocco, of Fez, and Tlemcen? Wow, this is really weird. So we got Tunis here. Last remnants of Algiers up here in the north. Then we have the huge Granadian territory here. Parts of Tlemcen here, and Fez has been reduced to the southern provinces. Wow, that is really interesting. I did not see that happening at all. Sweden and Denmark have an uneasy truce, with Sweden owning Halland, which is originally a Danish province, but Denmark seems to be doing good as far as that is concerned. Norway being peaceful, Scotland, England, everything as it should be. Only Bohemia is growing stronger by the day. Also is France though, so it's not really that much of a thing. France is conquering Auvergne, but I don't think this concerns us. Nope. Nope, it does not. We have a request for Kalstein Church in Praha. We are going to refuse to give permission for that. and we can also take the ethics bureaucratic idea. So let's do that. Ethics. Corruption rots the fiber and strength of our nation. Training our bureaucrats in ethical behavior will slow the spread of such rot. So yearly corruption is lowered by 0.05, which is great because it further lowers the corruption. What I'm gonna do is, we're making a bit of a buck, so let's start routing the corruption slightly to speed it up to a reasonable level. By revoking that privilege from the greater nobles, we weakened their power a bit, but it cost us dearly. So let's hope this is going to be enough. As far as Holy Roman Empire goes, we have everyone with the exception of us. Really? Why the hell are we not voting for ourselves? Everyone is voting for us. That's pretty cool. We are uniform with the awesome emperor. So that is good. And with the rooting out corruption, we're going to make it slightly less horrifying for us. What is affecting it? Centralization. It's weird it's not affected by stability. That's kind of interesting. But it affects the yearly centralization. So, and also global trade power and for defense and everything. So it's in our best interest to lower it to a reasonable level. I think 0.14 would mean that we can get it to somewhere like 25, I think. You never run the math really, so we'll see. Oh, improve the capital. Well, we can't really spend the money, so let's use military as workforce. How's Warsaw doing? 96% autonomy, and it's still dropping. We haven't really invested in any projects recently. We're always involved in some sort of war here and there, so... Are you guys building something? No. And some of our provinces actually still have a province trauma. Wow, Budějovice, if I'm not mistaken, was doing way better than it is now. It lost quite a lot. Damn it. Well, Poland has got the Union of Grodno. Interesting. And we have another very cold year. People are starving left and right. But before we get to pagan poetry and Christian ethics, I'd like to show you something. I checked the development screen of Europe, and you should all notice that there is a huge green blob in my territory, which is Chasovsko. For some, I have no idea why, reason, Chasovsko now has 118 rural development. It does not really mean that the population here would be that big. It's, you know, somewhere, the population like here is 495,000, but for some reason for us it means that the development is just massive. Really no idea what happened there. This is the reason why we suddenly have 121 development and we are getting splendor. Wow, I really have no idea what happened there. Maybe some migration event that gone wrong. There are no major, you know, nobody here who would like do anything. It's real weird. It also does not really affect our trade much. Only the trade value. But if we wanted to develop it, this would be the province to develop. I really don't know what happened there. Anyway, pagan poetry and Christian ethics. The Renaissance was a period when the Greek and Roman classics were rediscovered and translated into Latin. In the Middle Ages, they had been shunned for being pagan, but now humanist scholars evaluated them on their ideas rather than on their heresy. Ancient writers such as Plato, Socrates, and Aristotle had much to say on topics such as ethics and politics, and those ideas were just as relevant in 1430 as they had been 2,000 years earlier. The result was a flowering of philosophy, poetry, and science as the ancient classics inspired modern interpretations. However, it was also a time of increased skepticism about religion. If a pagan who died long before Christ was born could use logic to determine good and evil, what did that say about the Bible? Too many Bohemian philosophers. The answer was simple. Being a good Christian meant following a code of ethics, not following the Bible. One could live an ethical life by being honest, hardworking, generous, and kind, without ever touching a relic, going on a pilgrimage, or purchasing an indulgence. But then, where did that leave the church? Another question was where it left our own people. Lacking a Roman heritage to our own, we have had to scour their texts for any mention of our ancestors, attempting to build a national heritage from that kernel. So live life according to our conscience, not church rules. We gain administrative power, lose a bit of papal influence. The classics are deeply flawed but still worth reading. Ban the reading of classics as a heresy. Oh. Well, we have a benevolent king now. So let's just go with the classics are deeply flawed but still worth reading. That sounds like a good middle ground. Benevolent leader would be someone in between, especially when we have a philosopher at hand. I'm investing more into corruption removal because I just want to get it to a reasonable level as fast as possible. And our income is going up and down, up and down. We'll see how it goes. We're very close to getting to Regensburg, becoming our vassal. We've improved the relation to plus 100, and when we, get rid of that, revoked our free city status penalty, we'll have 180, and then it's just going to be a matter of a simple gift to get them to our side. Let's recall the diplomat for now. We don't really need him there, and send him to our allies. We get a witch hunt in Chasovsko. Christians believed that the devil worked evil on good Christians through human hosts, and consequently, when ill befell them, they could blame their misfortunes on these witches and take suspected witches to a church court, where they were usually found innocent for lack of evidence. During times of great upheaval, witch trials could lead to mass hysteria and mob lynchings. When a court found in the defendant's favor, or where the law could not or would not be enforced, these witch hunts became especially common after the church council that ended the schism met in Basel, a town known for its anti-witchcraft theology. Ironically, although witch hunts have their origins in Catholicism, they were far more prevalent under Protestantism, which lacked the ecclesiastical courts of their Catholic neighbors. So we can let the peasants blow off some steam, or we can organize a witch tribunal in Praha, or we can discourage this practice, which we're going to do, and we are going to pass the Witchcraft Act, which removes the possibility of having further witch hunting events in our kingdom. I base this on benevolent king who is also temperate, so this would be probably against his interest. Plus we have a philosopher and a statesman who would know that this is a bad idea. Oh my god. Well, our relations are increasing further. This is not good. Anyway, in Chasovsko we have started to build roads because we want to develop this heavily trade important province that provides probably most of the food in our kingdom. So the roads were connected to Praha and to the rest of our biggest cities like Wrocław, Horná Łužica, and Plzeňsko and Chebsko, where most of our urban population live. Plus it's gonna give us a benefit of increased trade power and a further modifier to the urban gravity here. I think it gives 10%. No, actually 20%. Okay, it's even more beneficial. I'm eagerly waiting for the next level of military technology that will allow us to get bigger forts, because they will improve our situation. We're really not doing good as far as technology goes. I'm not happy about that. We have 12, 11, 11. Austria has 11, 12, 14. Just falling behind really fast. I would like to consider, when we finish the corruption, which is maybe even now, how far will it go? Now let's keep it high to get it to 0 decrease on its own. And when we are done with that, I'm going to hire a military advisor, one that will lower the technology cost of military technology, because we need every single bonus we can get at this point. Now, last but not least, our stability is now -1, which is kind of nice. We have 50 gold, and I'm preparing to vassalize Regensburg. It's gonna take 1 more year before we can do it. The gift would now give them 15 extra relations, and we need to remove 6 and get extra 6. That's 27, and that's going to be enough to make this republic our vassal. So, with that said, I'm going to end the episode here, and I'll see you in the next one, where we vassalize Regensburg, hire an advisor, and hopefully get another bureaucratic idea and another military and administrative technology. Oh, actually, no, not administrative technology, because we're getting to the good ones. Civil service, integration, and centralization. Centralization is a big one. That one is gonna move us places, because extra 10 centralization mean what? Probably addition of -0.06 from centralization, and an extra 0.1 from the bonus. So wow, that's gonna take it by 19 or maybe more % across the board, and that's gonna boost our income significantly. So see you in the next episode.